Okay, guys, we got to talk about the resident con artist himself, the king of the FBA cult, Tariq Aloysius Nasheed. This man is back at it again, doing what he does. Doing what he does. Tariq Nasheed is what you would call a spin artist. He is someone who tries to paint things in a light that is not truly representative of the context of that particular situation. Tariq Nasheed is a man who has no scruples. There is no low that he will not go down to. There's no low that is too low for him if he believes that it will put money in his pocket. We've been dealing with Tariq for a long time. Tariq. And he has tried every single method of silencing the very well-deserved criticisms that have been leveled against him. And today, we have to criticize him once again. Mr. Bojangles himself has once again stepped out of line. It's always this dude whenever some skullduggery is taking place. First, he was a pimp. Then he was a woke, back when woke was a good thing. Then he was a woke pro-African Pan-Africanist. And then when that grift dried up, wait, no, let me go back. First, he was a rapper, Cosmo Flex. Then he was a pimp, came up with Rosebud and them. That's what he wanted us to believe. Then he became an actor. That didn't work. Then he became a filmmaker. That didn't work. Then he became a woke, pro-African, Pan-African activist. That wasn't lucrative enough for him. So then he had to slide over from that and become a black nationalist. That didn't work. Then he had to become a race baiter. And I'm not going to lie, that yielded him a little bit of success. But now it seems that Tariq Nasheed has found a new grift, a new gimmick. He has stepped into his role as a cult leader. And his cult, full of mindless drones that have labeled themselves FBA, Foundational Black Americans. These people have taken the internet by storm. There is no space that is too big. There is no space that is too small. There is no space that is too intellectual or too stupid for FBA. They will enter any forum and infect it with their negativity, their insecurity, their derogatory rhetoric, and ultimately their racism. Now they go around the internet following their failure to secure reparations in the form of cash payments for the Foundational Black Americans. They go around the internet now desperately searching for a win after being abused, doxxed, criticized, and shamed by their leader. They travel the internet like digital nomads, and not the digital nomads you'll think of. Like tech, like internet nomads. They homeless intellectually. So they travel around like nomads, begging people to let them in. But nobody wants to let them in, because the minute you let them into your space will become infected with FBA nonsense. FBA doesn't need for what Tariq says to make sense. FBA doesn't need for what Tariq says to actually yield or produce results that are positive. All FBA needs is a line, a slogan. And just repeating that slogan, just repeating that. Reparations or else, right? Cut the check. That is enough to fuel their fire for the next year or decade to come. Now Tariq is trying to cast his shadow of crap, his shadow of negativity onto what is a beautiful theatrical effort by Ryan Coogler, the director of Black Panther, the director of Fruitvale Station. Now he has released what I believe is one of the best movies I've ever watched, Sinners, starring Michael B. Jordan. Now, we're going to talk about the movie. The movie is great. Michael B. Jordan, for the first time in his career, actually does the heavy lifting of playing two lead characters. They are twins. They're the twins, Smoke and Stack. They are known as the Smoke Stack twins, and they were born and raised on a plantation in Mississippi. Tired of the plantation life, Smoke and Stack leave Mississippi for the big city, the urban mecca of Chicago. And while in Chicago, they get involved with gangsters, including but not limited to a certain Al Capone. And they make a big score, and they decide that the big city life is no longer for them. Actually, they didn't just go to Chicago. They actually enlisted into the military, and they fought in World War I. And they actually went to Germany. But after leaving Germany, after the war ended, they used the skills they had been trained, that they learned in the army, to go down to Chicago and work as muscle for Al Capone. But after a while, Chicago lost its luster, and they realized that they could never find true freedom in the gangland of Chicago. So they decided to go back home to Mississippi, where they were from, and open a juke joint, literally called the Juke Joint. And it is there that the story that will unfold in the movie begins. I'm not going to give you any spoilers, but what I am going to do is I'm going to tell you how this clown, failed producer, failed filmmaker, this guy's basically failed at everything he's tried to do other than beg people for money on the internet, scam y'all out of money. Bro literally said he was opening a museum in LA. I live in LA. That museum, quote unquote, because it ain't no museum, it did everything but open. Literally, it's never open. Go by, it's always shuttered every day. The most you'll see done there is a comedy show every now and then. But this guy was able to secure nearly $2 million US from desperate black people, desperate FBA, looking for a win anywhere they can find it. And giving Tariq their money turned out to be a horrible loss and a nightmare. And they never got what they paid for, because they're in an FBA right now who could fly into LA and go to the Hidden History Museum and take a tour. If you do fly in, that bit gonna be closed when you get here. But now Tariq he's trying to infect this beautiful movie, which I recommend you guys all go watch it. I gave it a 10 out of 10. Has everything. It'll make you laugh. It'll make you cry. It'll make you want to stand up and cheer. But just like a cancer, just like a parasite, Tariq Nasheed and FBA seek to latch themselves on to anything successful, because every single thing they attempt to do turns into a miserable failure. So Tariq is all over Twitter right now, celebrating the fact that the director of this movie, Sinners, Ryan Coogler, referenced FBA in an interview that he did recently about the Sinners movie. Let me make this smaller because this is just a picture. And I'm going to show you the reference that Tariq clipped out, all 9 seconds of it. And then I'm going to play you what Ryan Coogler actually said in its totality. And what I seek to do here is to expose how Tariq Nasheed engages in deception
in America,
to make you think that his hate cult, FBA, is actually gaining traction, to make you think that the people of the United States are actually recognizing this nonsense, as opposed to the reality. People are using the term FBA because they've heard it on the internet and they truly do not understand all that is entailed in using that term. Do you think that Ryan Coogler knows that to even say you are FBA means that you have some type of hatred for where you came from? Do you think Ryan Coogler knows that the goofies known as FBA are actually divided among their own ranks? A quarter of them think that they native indigenous Indians, Choctaws, Cherokees, and everything else. Another quarter of them think they came from on a spaceship and was dropped off here by the Anunnaki. A quarter of them think that they never been to Africa and they descended from Europe and anywhere other than Africa, Turtle Island or something like that. And then another quarter of them believe that the earth is flat and some other nonsense, and they are the descendants of the Nephilim or whatever. These guys, when I tell you these people, they all use the same term, but they all use the same term, but when it comes to their trajectory, they're all on different paths. When it comes to what they actually believe behind the term, beyond the term FBA, man, these people are all over the place. They don't know. They're more confused now than they were when they adopted the term FBA. Because before, they were just a bunch of black people who hated themselves. They were disgusted by their own African identity. Now, it's basically a safe haven or a rest haven for black self-haters. If you want to be anything but black, come over here. I'm talking about, I've heard FBAs claim their white blood while openly rejecting their African blood, saying they're not African. They didn't descend from Africa. They ain't got nothing to do with Africa. And you guys have all heard it. You guys have all heard it. If you know, you know. These people are willing to be humiliated online repeatedly. They would rather be humiliated online repeatedly than admit that they even have a single drop of African blood in them. So when you hear, and Tariq Nasheed, he throws rocks and he hides his hand, right? And he doesn't want to admit that he has created an anti-black, anti-African hate cult. But he does stuff like what he's going to do with this clip, which makes it obvious that he is day to day working to convince black people in America, African American people, to separate from their African identity and, like him, try to cling a little bit closer to their European identity, which they don't have one. He wants them to separate from their African identity to make themselves more acceptable to white folk and other races. That's what this is about. If you want to know why Tariq's doing what he's doing, Tariq is doing the same thing that the old plantation house nigga used to do. He wants to throw off his African identity because he thinks once he gets rid of that, it will bring him closer to white folks. It would endear him to these good old white folks. But I'm telling you, Tariq, I know you're watching. He watches this show. I know you're watching. Tariq, the Bible says that if your brother commits a sin against you, first go to him and try to show him the error in his ways. So I'm going to do that first before I get into this whole thing. Tariq, listen to me. Listen to me, brother. The man tried to sue me. He tried to get a restraining order on me, but I still call. He's still my brother. Sometimes you got to love somebody in spite of themselves. I'm going to love my brother in spite of himself today. Tariq, listen to me. Tariq, we gave him our labor in the field as slaves. No, let's go back to Africa. We sold them, our brothers, our sisters, our children, our mothers. I mean, there are literally African kings who sold their own mothers into slavery. This is true. We gave them our flesh and blood as slaves in Africa. We fed them, we clothed them, we made sure they survived. They took us as slaves to America. When we got to America, we worked their fields for free, Tariq. We worked up in their houses for free, Tariq. We gave them our women for free, Tariq. They came and took our women, and we didn't put them to death. Master gets sick, the slaves didn't revolt and string his ass up. We nursed him back to health. Tariq, our women nursed their babies on their own titty and kept them alive. We gave them our sons for war. We gave them our economy. We gave them the Negro League. We gave them our black neighborhoods. We gave these people everything, Tariq. Everything we had to give, we've given to white folks. Why do you believe that if we just give them a little bit more, they're going to accept us and welcome us in? It ain't nothing left to give. We've given them our children. We letting them abort our children by the millions. 60-something million black babies aborted since the 1960s just because white folks said that'd be good for us. Now we so hard up, we trying to give them our damn identity. We've given up everything to get closer to these people, and they still are not going to accept us. Why is this damn fool telling us, well, if you just become a little bit less African, that's going to make you acceptable to the white man? We moved into their neighborhoods and left our own. We gave them our businesses and started shopping in theirs. That was desegregation. Guys, at this point, if they ain't accepted you by now, they ain't never going to accept you. And now we saying, oh, let's throw away our black identity so they would finally turn around and give us something. They're never going to do it. That was my appeal to this dude. Nothing that he probably doesn't already know. Now I got to cut you. This guy, Tariq Nasheed, is literally claiming that because Ryan Coogler used the term FBA, that he is somehow validating the existence of FBA, and that means that FBA is now a major player on the political scene. Bro, FBA done been to Congress. FBA done been to city council meeting all over America. There are FBA cult members who have even been elected to political office in local elections. You still ain't got them reparations, boy. So do you think that because Ryan Coogler said FBA, all of a sudden, oh, that means we gonna get reparations? That's not what that means. That means that Tariq is going to be able to use Ryan Coogler saying that to manipulate some dumb ass celebrity worship Negro into giving him more money. Well, it must be legitimate because Ryan Coogler said it. Ryan Coogler is a movie director who works for white people and probably gave his ass cheeks up just to get that opportunity. His name and his word don't carry no damn weight. He is an amazing director, but I would be remiss if I did not point out the fact that he only has one actor who works in all of his movies. Have y'all noticed that? The only thing he did where the main character wasn't Michael B. Jordan was Black Panther. And that's run by Disney. And that's some bull crap. The second one, I love the first one. The second one was pure bullshit. But let me play what Ryan Coogler said, since now he's being touted as the new Messiah by Tariq. Because why? Do you notice that everybody Tariq tells you to worship is somebody who has been accepted and lifted up by white folks? Tariq, when you gonna tell us, look, Malik Shabazz said FBA or some super blackety black pro-black person? Let's tap into this. The deception.
Look at the poster. It's a story primarily about Africans in America. If you know the history of foundational Black Americans, look at the poster. It's a story primarily about Africans.
Why would you clip out 9 seconds of that interview and not just play the whole interview, or 10 or a minute, right? So people can understand the context. But even in the 9-second clip, Ryan Coogler shows that he is far more intelligent than FBA because he acknowledges that we are Africans. He said this story is about Africans in America, and that's what we are. Whether you like it or not, you're not indigenous, you're not native, you ain't Choctaw, you ain't no damn Cherokee, you're none of those things. Ryan Coogler, as far as he has gone, understands you are nothing more than an African who has been transplanted to America. And because you became citizens of this country, because the white man granted you citizenship, you are now a group known as African Americans. He even says it. I'm going to play it again. He says it. But then I'm going to play you the longer version of this clip where he goes into detail and he gets specific about where your ass is from.
Look at the poster. It's a story primarily about Africans in America. If you know the history of foundational Black Americans, look at the poster. It's a story primarily about Africans in America. If you know the history of foundational Black Americans, look at the poster. It's a story primarily about Africans.
Look at the poster of the story. It's primarily about Africans. Africans in America. I played it 3 times for the goofballs in the back. Oh, don't worry. Hey, y'all drop those super chats. We gonna open this up to a panel discussion because I see some FBA goofies in the comments already, and I want to let you guys up. I want you guys to explain this to me. Maybe I am an idiot. I'm gonna let y'all up so y'all can explain it to me. Point it out to me, player. Drop those super chats because we gonna be here. Y'all drop super chats. I stay here longer. Let's make an arrangement. Let's make an agreement. So Tariq, he tries to deceive by posting the 9 seconds in. But you know the internet is undefeated. Y'all know that. So someone came after Tariq did try to do his deception, and Tariq, the Sinners movie was great. It's an excellent movie. That's why I know Ryan Coogler is way too smart to fall for this stupidity. That's why Tariq has to take his words and try to misrepresent what the brother said. So someone posted on this, and this person I think is, this person says, Yavo 1986, says, this is the full video, by the way. Ryan said, if you know the history of FBAs, it actually comes from West Africa. So he is connecting African Americans to West Africa. This fool cut the West African part to make it look like Ryan is as delusional as him. Someone said, does he owe you royalties for commercially using that phrase you trademarked? Tariq don't even own the phrase FBA. For the pretendians that only heard FBA, he begins by saying, if you look at the poster, it's a story mainly about the history of Africans in America. Then he goes on about FBA. In a nutshell, he agrees Black Americans are the descendants of Africans. 100%. And Africans are the descendants of Black Americans, because many of us went back to Africa when slavery ended. Listen to me. Listen to me. We're going to play what we don't need these people to even explain for Ryan, because Ryan Coogler is intelligent and he could speak for himself.
Actually, I haven't heard that one.
Really?
What? Why twins?
Yeah, why twins?
Yeah. I haven't gotten that one.
Look at the poster. It's a story primarily about Africans in America. If you know the history of foundational Black Americans, they come from West Africa, right? In Nigeria, there is a deity, a twin deity in the Yoruba religion. You know, Yoruba people over-indexing the birthright of fraternity.
He's literally telling you. Listen to how deep the bro got. The reason why he used twins in the movie Smoke and Stack is because they are basically a reiteration of the twin deities in the Yoruba culture. The whole movie about Africa. Let me let the bro, I'm going to start over so y'all can hear what bro had to say totally about it. Listen closely, please. We're learning now. We're learning. Hey, I'm going to let my daughter listen to this too. Samira, come here. Hey, because I know my daughter didn't know about this. I want you to listen to this. You know when we watched the movie Sinners? Oh, this is my baby. Oh, she's so gorgeous. You remember we watched the movie Sinners, right? Yeah. Okay. Do you know Ryan Coogler is explaining why he used twins in that movie? So I'm gonna let you hear. This is deep. It's good stuff.
Actually, I haven't heard that one.
Really?
What? Why twins?
Yeah, why twins?
Yeah. I haven't gotten that one.
Look at the poster. It's a story primarily about Africans in America. If you know the history of foundational Black Americans, they come from West Africa, right? In Nigeria, there is a deity, a twin deity in the Yoruba religion. You know, Yoruba people over-indexing the birthright of fraternal twins. It's a thing that we reckon with. And I was born into a family that's
Actually, I haven't heard that one.
Really?
What? Why twins?
Yeah, why twins?
Yeah. I haven't gotten that one.
Look at the poster. It's a story primarily about Africans in America. If you know the history of foundational Black Americans, they come from West Africa, right? In Nigeria, there is a deity, a twin deity in the Yoruba religion. You know, Yoruba people over-indexing the birthright of fraternal twins. It's a thing that we reckon with. And I was born into a family that's
actually probably not.
Shortcut. That's crazy, right? Even Michael B. Jordan, the star of the movie, didn't even know. He said, I ain't never even heard that part. So listen. The truth will always reveal itself, Tariq. That's why your ass ain't never succeeded at nothing you ever done, except for scamming a bunch of idiots who are dishonest themselves. See, when you do that nasty work like what bro do, and people follow you, they end up falling victim to what you're doing. And Ryan Coogler, without even realizing it, totally destroyed the false narrative of FBA in that statement. He said, if y'all claim this one, if y'all Negroes claim this one here, y'all gonna be admitting y'all West African. The one thing y'all hate more than anything. Dane Calloway won't even watch the movie. Bro said he about to gouge his own eyes out so he don't even got to see posters of the movie. Because the more you try to run away from who you are, you realize that you can't run away from yourself. You will be reminded of who you are everywhere you go. Everywhere you go. I know these dudes, I know these FBA degenerates are punching air right now. They are knocking out molecules right now. Ryan cut him. Hey, I thought he was on our side. You thought wrong, nigga. You thought wrong. You can't run away from that blackness. Many have tried. Sammy Sosa tried. That boy is black again. It ain't just on you, it's in you. And I hate to say it, but even y'all ignorant behavior online, even that's African. We listen to y'all speak and start fighting. We know y'all black. We know that African in you. But Ryan Coogler exposed it. Let me tell you what's even crazier about the movie. So in the movie, because we got to give y'all a little bit of review on this, right? No, there's no difference between West Africans and other Africans. Africans from the other side may be a little bit smaller, pound for pound, but even in East Africa and South Africa, you got some big suckers, especially in Angola. Because I went to Dubai, and it was an Angolan dude out there who was fighting in the same tournament. I fought him. People thought we was brothers. First, they thought we was the same person. Then they thought we were brothers. So I know it ain't no difference. The difference might be 2% white blood. That's about it. Maybe about 2 to 4% white blood. That's the only difference. There's differences as far as the differences are minute. Genetically, there's really no difference. But there's differences, but I don't think the differences are that, especially from West Africa. Between Black Americans and West Africans, it ain't even a paperclip, a difference between us, really. Basic facial features, nah, not really. There's people in Kenya who look just like people because what you got to understand is we are an amalgamation of groups. See, so when you say Black Americans, there's really not a lot of difference between us and everybody on the continent. That's why when you see Black Americans, you see all colors, all shapes, all sizes. You got light-skinned Black Americans that look straight up Ethiopian. Listen, I'll say it again. You have light skin. I got cousins that look Ethiopian. My cousin Kiki and Nini and Aja and Nene, them hoes look Ethiopian. I'm not even joking with you. And they're my first cousins, my mom's sister's kids. If they went to Ethiopia, those Ethiopians wouldn't even be able to tell the difference. I promise you. Oh, yeah. But I'm telling you, you got Black Americans that look like people all over the African continent. Bro, I was in South Africa, walking down the street, random. Do you know people were coming to me, approaching me, saying, they were like speaking to me in Zulu. And then I'm like, I don't understand you. I don't speak Zulu. They're like, oh, I'm sorry. And so I asked the guy who was with me, I'm like, why do they keep doing that? He said, bro, you look like a Zulu. I said, oh, I thought Zulus was skinny. He said, no, Zulus are thick like you. Shaka Zulu was only 5'8". I know in the movie they like, bro was 6'11", bro was 5'8". And not skinny, he was thick. The Zulus are buff because they eat a lot of beef. That's the staple of their diet, cow meat. They eat a lot of beef and they drink a lot of milk. So they grow thick. They grow big, right? Hell no. You tripping. I believe I read from some white piece of literature, from some white history book that Shaka Zulu was 5'8". How I'ma Google it. How tall was Shaka Zulu? Oh, 6'3". Nigga, you man, that's on Reddit, boy. Ain't no right here. Shaka Zulu, deadliest warrior. Boy was 5'9", 161 pounds. Bro, man, this guy was 5'9", man. I'm believing the white man before I believe Reddit. Shaka Zulu wasn't no damn 6'6". Zulus aren't even tall like that. I ain't met one. How many Zulus do you see in the NBA? That boy was not 6'2". Now, if you said he was Masai, I believe he was 6'6". This man. Listen, man. The history books got bro is 5'9". And it gives me a personal sense of pride as well. But do you see how bro tried to engage in straight deception? Oh, Coogler won us. He down with the stupid shit. Nah, bro, he's not down with it. You're misrepresenting what he said so you can make people believe he's down with it. So you can make people believe that he's an idiot like you. Hey, Diana Ross' daughter, Tracy Ellis Ross, she look Ethiopian. She ain't got a lick of Ethiopian blood in her. You can't shrink me with voodoo. Maybe you could shrink, maybe you could go boo bop beep boo bam boom and give Tariq a tiny head. But let me get these super chats from my people. Jermaine Snow, stay longer. Hey, thank you, brother. Africulture, all black sub-Saharan looking people in America are African. Get over it. 100%. Shout out to my boy Africulture Concepts. But Ryan Coogler, they think they gotta win. And then turn around and got straight up destroyed. They got straight destroyed. And so now Tariq is scouring the internet trying to find evidence of Ryan Coogler saying FBA again. You sound like a fan. You know how somebody goes to a concert or something and the celebrity that they like say their name? Oh, he said my name. That's these little cheerleading hoes. These dudes are cheerleading hoes. Guys, give me a one if the sound is okay. Give me a one if the sound is okay, please. My day ones, give me a one if the sound is okay. These guys are cheerleading hoes. If he says our name, that means he sees us. And if you look at FBA, that's all they are. They're a bunch of celebrity worshipers. They don't give a damn about reparations, really. They're like a clique of people who are clout chasing and looking dumb while doing it. Why you think all of them watching No Jumper and dudes like Almighty Suspect? People watch people who they feel represent them. And if they're a bunch of clout chasing retards, they're gonna freaking follow people who are clout chasing retards. I remember when Vivica Fox showed up to the Hidden Hustle Museum, how Tariq was in there twerking his booty in excitement. Y'all, we got Vivica. That dude is just a clown. Dude is just a straight up clown. Shout out to my girl Michelle N, who didn't join my membership. Shout out to my boy, the Jughead, man. Y'all need to join the membership. All my day ones need to join the membership. Greetings, Brandon, man. You tripping about Floyd. Floyd Mayweather would not last 5 rounds with, oh, hell no. Leonard Hearns or Duran? What about Hagler? I know you don't know what you're talking about because you didn't bring up Hagler. And he beat the dog shit out of Tommy Hearns. Floyd would beat all of them. I'm sorry. The only person I think that could have gave Floyd problems is Marvin Hagler. That's it. And Floyd would have whooped his ass too. Anyway, thank you, Jughead. But guys, listen, don't raise your kids to be clout chasers. Because all you do when you chasing clout is you become a sucker. When you chase clout, you become a sucker. You'll fall for anything. Because all you looking for is attention. And you know what happens to attention seekers. They end up selling their butt cheeks out on Figueroa. And that's what Tariq has created. He's created a cult full of clout chasers. I have more respect for Dane Calloway than Tariq. Because at least Dane Calloway, he only wants his cult to follow him. Tariq is like, my cult need to follow me as I try to follow all these celebrities and get attention. And can't even get none. Can't even get none. Who wants to be known as a habitual liar? I go around and spread lies about my identity and try to recruit people into that nonsense. Guy just has nothing respectable about him. Cookie Lover, my girl, thank you for the $5 holler. And shout out to my girl Michelle for joining the membership. Hey, we got 3 members, man. I'm excited. We got 3 members. We got 3 members, y'all. Hey, don't forget we got the membership. If you support Black media, honest, unbiased opinions and analysis, subscribe to the channel to keep Black media strong. Tariq also got excited when they said root word. Right. How are you excited about something that you stole the name of? They've been calling that hoodoo root work way back in the day, 100, 200 years ago. You stole the name of your horrible deodorant from that. But root work come from Africa. So what it is Tariq trying to do what he always does with his garbage ass products. He's trying to steal things that originated in Africa and repackage them and say, oh no, this is straight from FBA. Even FBA ain't straight from FBA. You ain't no foundational Black Africans. You ain't no foundational Black Americans. You a foundational Black African. That's what you are. You are an African that was in America from the beginning. Because when America started, you wasn't even a citizen of America. So how the hell are you a foundational Black American? African slaves weren't considered American citizens. Shout out to my boy Wah, a member. He's a big dog in the building because he's a member for the super chat. The Jughead, Hagler would be too big. No, Hagler fought Hearns. So how's that too big? He could drop down. Thank you, brother. And my boy laughing like Saga, 100%. She's a member now, folks. Oh, you a Muslim now. But dude, I'm telling you, why does FBA follow somebody who is a follower? Followers can't follow followers. That leads to disaster. Why would y'all want to follow somebody who can't even think of an original fucking idea? All the guy does is try to steal the ideas and identity of other people. Even the term foundational Black America is not something that derived or originated with Tariq Nasheed. It's not. Can anybody, let's do a pop quiz to see how Black y'all really are. Who is the person who originally coined the term foundational Black American? Who is the person who originally coined the term foundational Black American? I want to know. Who is the person who originally coined the term foundational? No, I need his full name. I need his full name because we teaching. We teaching. Tariq is reaching, so we teaching. You reach, I teach. You reach, I teach. Can y'all put that in the comments for me? You reach, I teach. See, we don't even know our history. Do we know our history? Somebody talking about, I think Dr. Clark. Get your act together. It was Dr. Claude Anderson. It was Dr. Claude Anderson. He is the man who coined the term foundational Black American. Tariq stole that term from Claude Anderson. Didn't even give him credit either. Didn't even give him credit. Then, if you look at the members of Foundational Black American, majority of them came from the ADOS movement under the con artist Yvette Carnell. Most of them came from the ADOS movement. He went in like a friend. He used the tactics of the white people he worshiped. He went in like a friend, subverted their movement, went in there, purposely trying to split up their movement. Found some bullshit reason to start criticizing them, and left with half of their followers. And I understand if you might want to leave, somebody might leave a church, somebody might leave a martial arts gym, and they say, look, come over here with me and I'll treat you right. Bro ain't even did nothing. I mean, I'm not saying ADOS has done much, but bro has done even less than that. Tariq he didn't bring them out so he could help them get reparations. Tariq brought them out so they could be his personal ATM. And to date, the only person who has got reparations is Tariq. He's the only person getting richer. Your pockets is touching. And bro is counting your money. He's counting your money. My girl T. Lee is in the building. Shout out to my girl for the $10 holler. They already destroyed FBA rebrand. Dolomite, how did they destroy that? Because I heard they were trying to rebrand. But you can't change who you are. Everywhere you go, there you are. You know that saying? Everywhere you go, there you are. At this point, Almighty suspect and Tariq Nasheed got the same amount of gold records, 0. The same amount of #1 hits, 0. The same amount of Billboard Top 100, 0. These people are just insecure. That's what LA is producing. A bunch of insecure Negroes who trying to clout chase and hating on people who are secure within themselves. That's what's going on here. He changed NBA to FBA. Right. So he could trademark it. Right. Come on. Yeah, because Claude Anderson did say Native Black Americans. Because of the NBA acronym, and it would be confusing. It was definitely a grift. I don't even think he made up the term foundational Black Americans. Tariq is not smart like that. I believe maybe one of his followers might have said that in the comments, and bro jumped on it. That's all this is about. Now, let me tell you how Coogler further destroyed these idiots and crushed their hopes. Because Coogler also destroyed Dane Calloway's grift too. But Tariq at one point was trying to steal Dane Calloway's grift. So he caught a bunch of strays. He took in a bunch of strays from Dane Calloway. People who might have been disenfranchised with Dane Calloway, they don't like the fact that Dane Calloway at least tries to put an intellectual spin on it. You know, because what does Dane Calloway say? He says, I'm just here to make you think. See, Tariq is like, he's the Dane Calloway where thinking is not required, right? Dane Calloway is like, oh, I'm just here to make you think. All the people who want to believe the Dane Calloway nonsense, but they don't want to do any of the thinking, those people went over to Tariq. So they're celebrating the sinner's crap too, but they obviously have not saw the movie, because in the movie Sinners, there is a band of Choctaw Indians, right, who are featured in the movie. I'm not going to tell you what part they're featured in, but I'm going to tell you that they're featured in the movie. They had a significant, prominent role in the movie. And not a single damn one of them, not a single damn one of them look like any of us. So it's clear that Ryan Coogler understands we are not the Choctaw Indians. It's very clear that he understands that. Right there, bada boom, bada bing. These are the Choctaws from the movie. The guy on the left with the long hair and all these dudes in the back. At a certain point in the movie, there's a man and he says, you hear that? And they're like, who's that? He was like, that's Choctaws. And then the Choctaws come up to his front door. Ain't a black person among them. And before Ryan Coogler before they try to use the black guy standing in front, trying to say, oh, he's Choctaw. That's actually the director of the movie. And the girl next to him is the Asian lady who plays the barkeep. So we know that Ryan Coogler, because he didn't cast Nair Negro in this movie to play a Choctaw, understands that what? Black people are not Choctaw Indians. And I don't give a damn what your grandma tells you. She's a liar. So understand, Ryan Coogler basically dealt a death blow to FBA. He killed every narrative that they have. And they have, because he said FBA. Yeah, he said FBA right before he whooped y'all ass. He said FBA right before he destroyed y'all whole ideology, which is absolutely diabolical, if you ask me. Guys, I'm going to put the call-in link here. Even though I may not agree with you, I still respect your opinion, and I will not interrupt you. I will let you get your ass up here and embarrass yourself if you want to, but I won't interrupt you. This is crazy. And let me tell you the coldest part. Let me tell you the coldest part. I put the link in the comments. The whole movie is based around an African concept. When the movie starts, he says in every culture, there is someone who can produce music that is so beautiful that it could transcend the lines or the borders between the physical world and the spirit world and good and evil, right? It can cross the line between it. So it can attract good and it can even heal people, but it can also attract bad and it can hurt people, right? He said in West Africa, these people are called griots. I don't know about no Indian griots, but Ryan Coogler said in West Africa, these people are called griots. And that's what the movie is based around, this idea of a griot. Straight up West African. If when you watch the movie, you're going to see. Let me know if you've seen the movie. If you've seen the movie, put a 1 in the comments. I might even do a poll. And there's a scene where I'm not going to tell y'all about that part. But just understand the whole freaking movie revolves around this West African concept of a griot. I want to pull this up. I got you, Jughead. I'm about to bring you in. In the movie, they got a bunch of African dancers. Right? Why they didn't get no Native American dance? We all Native Americans. We the Cherokee. We the Choctaws. No. This is what they had in Sinners. I'm going to show you the type of dancers they had in Sinners. I got y'all. Y'all all coming in. TSM, I see you. I see you. Don't trip, my bro. I got y'all all coming in. Hold on 1 second. I got to make this last point and then y'all up here. Look, I'm going to show y'all what they had in Sinners. Right here.
While we're still on the topic of sinners, there is another facet of that one scene that everybody is raving about that nobody I have seen reference. In that one scene, there is a masquerade in their midst dancing. This is the Zaoli dance of the people of Cote d'Ivoire from the Guro people, and it looks something like this. Yeah, when I saw the dance, I was like, yeah, this is very much West African, but I didn't know what specific part of West Africa I was from until I did some research. So if you're from Cote d'Ivoire, please educate us on what the cultural context is to the meaning behind this dance. While we're still on the
So the Zauli dance, right, from Cote d'Ivoire. Bro, they had a person like that in the movie on the dance floor dancing around. And then they had other people from Africa dancing around. But they did have like an Asian guy because there was like one that represented every type of person who was in the room, but it was mostly blacks. So they had a bunch of African dancers in there dancing around. There was no Choctaw dancers. So y'all celebrating, but I you know, sometimes, right? Sometimes when you're working for the forces of evil, I don't know if you ever heard the story in the Bible of Balak and Balaam, right? Where a man was hired to go curse people, and actually their God made him say praises about those people when he tried to curse them. That's what I feel in this moment with the Tariq stuff. Tariq is so diabolical and sinister. He thought he had a win. It is so funny when what you thought was going to give you a win turns out to be something that totally debunks the nonsense that you've been trying to spread. I know he didn't see that shit coming. Tariq probably ain't even seen the movie Sinners. He's such a hating ass Negro. All right, let's go ahead, Jughead. What's up, my brother? How you doing?
Bro, how you doing, brother, man? Brandon, how you doing, bro?
What up?
Yeah, I'm Mr. TM. How you doing, bro? From UK, both of you. Yeah, I saw the film Sinners Lost this morning from UK. It's a great film, great film. I'm gonna see it again next week. Yeah, I mean, great direction, great cast. Everything was fantastic. The music, the scripts, you know, everything was fantastic, man. A plus, A plus.
No, it's a good movie. Go ahead, TSM.
Yo, what's up, guys? Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Stop moving around
Okay,
so much.
yeah. You can hear me now?
We can hear you.
Okay, the big issue with Tariq Nasheed is that no, Ryan Coogler make a big announcement when he say he connect FBA with West African, okay? And I think like Tariq Nasheed just takes the opportunity to just claim something is totally wrong. And I believe, most of the part of the movie, even when Coogler admitted, he put a lot of Kora instrument from Senegal, Kora instrument from Guinea, Kora instrument from Mali, because Ryan Coogler also tried to make another movie about Mansa Musa, the king of the West Africa, at one point of the time. So no, Tariq Nasheed is a scammer, and I just believe, man, he just tried to destroy us because now we live in an era we can just know everything, and he still, promote this kind of bullshit to our young generation, and that's fucking dangerous. No, Ryan Coogler admitted we are West African. That's all, bro.
Hey, you're 100% right. And I'm so glad that Ryan Coogler did what he does because he has way more influence than a bum like Tariq. So he set the record straight. And it's so sad that in 2025, where everybody has a computer in their pocket, we got to rely on movie directors to reach the masses of our people with the truth. If y'all ain't African, stop trying to claim our shit. If y'all don't look at yourselves as African, please stop trying to claim our shit. Please. Please, 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 please. You got something else, Jughead?
Yes, sir, Brandon. What's happening now on the continent is great news. In Chad, Niger, Burkina Faso, the Three Kings, man, they're starting something great. Look, Brandon, that time's coming, It's long overdue, but those three guys are going to set off something. This is the start of something big in Africa. Those Three Kings, man, they say sort of being deleted by the French. Those bastards, they're trying to take him out at Traore. Pray for him, man, that he keeps them safe. But the Three Kings, man, that's the beginning. That's the beginning, Brandon, something fantastic. So those the people like Tariq better be careful because if they keep saying on record they're Africans, when that time comes, Brandon, have you seen Django Unchained, Brandon? You know the film Django Unchained?
Yeah.
When Stephen goes, when Django goes, Steve moves to the left, I was moved to the right. Steve Jones going with his people. Django goes, no, Stephen. Stay where you belong. You ain't come back. You can't come back. That's what happened to Tariq.
Right.
You can't come back up. If you say if you're not Africa, okay, that's good. But when we rise up, we're not gonna forget.
Right.
The thing come calling back. No. Stay in your lane. Stay over there. Stay FBA.
100%. I know exactly what you're talking about. You talk about the end of the movie with Steven trying to come with the other black people.
Yeah.
Can I add something quick?
No.
Go ahead, TS,
I want
and
to
then we
add
go to
something quick. Yeah, okay. The good thing about the movie Sinners is very specific. Ryan Coogler got $90 million to make this movie, all right? From Warner Bros. All right? And Warner Bros. Will never give $90 million to someone who tell something about the FBA. Come on.
No way.
Nobody is dumb. And Tariq Nasheed, I'm telling you, even myself, bro, I walk around in LA. I saw Tariq Nasheed in LA, walking around with his fake ass Bentley from 1999, pretend like he is rich. It's ridiculous, bro. It's ridiculous. And the thing is like the truth. And we keep denying the truth and say we're not West Africa. Okay, China is taking over. Everybody's trying to people buy a house in West Africa right now because the real estate market is cheap. And people can stand out here, pretend FBS something over fucking fake donations. Even myself, okay? My dad is from Mali and my mom from Senegal, okay? So when I walk around LA, people watch me like, oh, were you from Compton? Are you from Jamaica? Because they don't know who I am from. Before when I start talking, they hear I have an accent. All right. So basically, like the fact like I'm West African from my parents, growing up in London, I'm not different than someone the same swag, the same style, the same hairstyle. Come on, bro. We have to stop this bullshit. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Listen, let me tell you something. Tariq Nasheed has basically destroyed very productive black movements, all to put black people on a hamster wheel that's leading nowhere. What has FBA produced in the 5 to 7 years that it's existed? Not a damn thing. All it's done is get black people going at each other on the internet. We're at each other's throats, and it ain't produced one thing that's beneficial. Yet everybody wants to claim it. Black people have this problem. Every loser ass effort that is made, we want to claim it because we believe that there's some type of win in being the consummate victim. There ain't no win. There's nothing romantic There's nothing chivalrous or great about being a part of something that ain't producing shit. So that's why I'll never be a part of FBA. Go ahead, Dr. Amos Kalumba. Oh, look, an African doctor. You don't see those every day.
Okay, what's up, Brandon? What's up? I hope you guys can hear me.
We hear you loud and clear.
Good evening to everybody. Close friend of the show. I just wanted to add, Brandon, and you already know this, that we live in a time period in American society where it's very anti-intellectual. You feel me? So when you break down even the concept of FBA, as y'all stated, FBA is a term that was, came from Claude Anderson's thought, but pretty much created by Tariq in 2018. So it was created by a person with a non-academic background. It is a concept that is not taught in school, so the mass majority of the public does not know about it. And I say that because go to the grocery store and talk to anyone in the grocery store or at the post office and ask them, do you know what Black Americans are? They'll say, of course, African Americans. Ask them, do you know what FBA is? They're not going to know what the hell you're talking about because it's a non-academic concept. So pretty much a two-bit con man hustler creates this concept, puts it on the internet. People who are also uneducated buy into it because there's some truths of what he's saying. And now it's a movement with T-shirts and flags and all that. So I say all that to say, when I just keep, just to keep this really, really short, folks, don't argue with these people. These are not scholars. These are assholes that get their shit off of YouTube and Wikipedia and sound bites that they hear, just like everybody else that's non-academic, non-intellectual. They'll hear a little something and assume the rest. So don't get mad about this shit. Stay loving being Black. We're all one. We're all one family. We're all, just trying to make it. So that's all I wanted to offer. So that's all I got, Brandon.
Hey, I mean, you're 100% right. And there's nothing wrong with getting information from a soundbite or getting information from like the YouTube. But where you make your mistake is when you don't research what
Correct.
you're learning. Research. I learn a lot of stuff on the internet, but you know what I do? I go research it. I don't want to say anything that's going to have me out here looking stupid. And thank God I have a huge ego, because that keeps me safe from being out here making myself look like an idiot. Some of you guys, I feel like some Black people they've been so beat down, they just looking for anything that make them feel good. You know what? I know there's no truth to it, but it makes me feel powerful. It makes me feel a little bit stronger. And that's a dangerous way to go through life.
Well, shit, let me chime in. Like, I got plenty of Black buddies who were born here, and some of the shit that they say in conversations, I'll be like, yo, where'd you get that from? Oh, my dad told me. Oh, my uncle told me. Oh, my grandpa told me. Okay, so what's the background of them getting that knowledge or getting
Papa
that?
was a Rolling Stone.
Yeah, it's like, people will speak their opinions with no background on this shit. And then because people don't research, the idea carries and it keeps going on and on and on. And, for y'all who like to read a good book, Animal Farm by George Orwell, it talks about that. How societies break down because of little ideas that come from uninformed people. And because it's reiterated, it becomes like normalized and accepted. So that's this FBA bullshit. That's this, we're Choctaws. That's this, there's some truth in some of it. Yes. But,
there ain't
the majority
no
of it, no.
Don't get me started. There ain't no truth. None of these Negroes are Indians. I'm Black. Amos, I know more about Black Americans than anybody, even Tariq.
Okay.
Tariq is like this. He is a Black American reject, okay? He's like a guy who existed on the fringes of Black American society.
He's a statistic. He's a statistic.
He's a statistic.
From the rural South, very uneducated. Yeah.
Very uneducated, didn't graduate from high school.
Yep.
I've been in every facet of Black life. I've been around Black elites, extensive interaction with them. Very extremely poor Blacks, Black gang culture. I've been in it. I've been in Black jail culture. I've been in black sports culture, every aspect of blackness, I have been a part of it. So when I speak about black people, I am informed. You may say it's anecdotal, but because I'm what? I'm a researcher. I look deeper into what I'm experiencing. So even like when I got into it with old buddy Almighty Suspect on No Jumper, I don't know if you heard about that.
Yeah, I heard about it.
I could break down exactly what's going on with the dude just by sitting there looking at him. I'm so familiar and experienced when it comes to black people. I can literally choose how I'm going to interact in a moment with the person who's black. I'm able to step outside of the situation and say, do I want to be ignorant? I could select that shit like I'm at a vending machine. Do I want to be ignorant with this dude and beat his ass? Do I want to take the authoritative approach? Like I'm just way smarter than you and higher minded than you and or do I want to manipulate the shit out of you to give me notoriety? And I chose 3. I manipulated it. I'm gonna manipulate his ass pause later today because I'm gonna make another video and then you gotta make a response to that. I got this dude talking about me like I'm his love interest right now. He's on a humongous platform where if he just said nothing, no one would think about me 2 seconds later. This dude is so pressed, he done made I've got damn near 500,000 views of this dude talking about me because I just manipulated him. I saw he was a highly emotional, little light-skinned dude, and I just got him with the little yellow, got him with the little, did you say the hard ER?
Come on, fam.
No,
you can't stereotype people, man. But
I'm not stereotyping. But I'm
not
just
to cut you off. I don't mean to jump in, but you hit something real key about all of this. Like we live in an era now where anyone can make a YouTube channel, talk their fucking nonsense, and depending on whether people find them attractive or people think that they're cool or if they're saying things in a certain way where it resonates, people will really take that shit in, like we said, not research, and then just start speaking it or create their own YouTube channel and then, regurgitate that shit and it becomes how they live their life. So we're just talking about non-scholarly research. We're talking about dumb fucks who have an internet connection and talk their nonsense. So that's the era that we live in, family. I'm going to hop back off, but all I want to say is please just research everything you hear. Even the shit that Brandon says, research it.
Always.
Just do your research.
I'll be the first to tell
and you'll
you.
Get to the correct information that you need to know.
No, so. I'm telling you. And we make mistakes all the time. We don't know everything. People think, oh, you guys are so smart. No, bro, we're just taking the 2 seconds to Google shit. Like, and then read, though. Don't just read. Don't read till you see what you want to hear and then stop. Do some research. It's called due diligence. Do your due diligence, then speak. If you do that, everyone will think you're smart. And if you don't know about something, don't speak on it. It's better to be thought stupid, remain silent and be thought stupid than to speak and remove all doubt. I always think about that in my mind. Go ahead, Amos.
One last point. So I'm seeing trolling in the chat, and that's cool because this is the internet. So trolls, this is where they live. This is where trolls can be somebody in life because they ain't shit in real life. You know what I mean? Intelligent people don't troll. But I just wanted to say that for the people who talk about, Africans and we were here first and all that. Okay, research. When did the United States government make you an American after being an African slave? 1866. Okay, so before 1866, what did the white man classify you as? An African. That's what you were to the 14th Amendment, 1866, made you an American. Okay, so I hope that just ends that in the chat and the negativity and nonsense. Look, man, life is short. No need to get blood pressure up about this shit. Diaspora wars. Let's just love, be black, progress in life, be the best that we could be. You feel me? So just wanted to say what's up to the chat. Thank you for allowing me to speak. Brandon, I'll holla at you, man. And I love the show. Today's show's been really great. Peace.
Can I offer a slight
Go ahead, Jug. Go ahead, Jughead.
Before 1866, you were considered chattel. That's when you considered even human. You were considered African, you considered chattel. No, not even human. So this is like correction then to the brother what he said. That's all.
Yeah, you were chattel, but I don't think white people use the term chattel. You were chattel slaves, but they used enslaved. They were enslaved Africans, but they treated us like chattel. That would mean we got treated like animals. But of course, they're going to try to, politically speaking, you're not going to use the word chattel because it has a negative connotation. But I get what you're saying, Jughead. Go ahead, TSM.
Yeah, man. Like, look, I remember. Like, you remember the TV show Roots back in the day with Alex Haley?
It's my favorite show.
All right. So like you can see even like I remember it was like the first episode and the last episode. You can tell like when they start everything started how they start in West Africa and the last episode when you see it go back to Fan Kunta Kinte roots in Gambia, right? And you can see you can see like how white people treat us and even today I remember like people used to deny Alex Haley and say he's a traitor, he's a stupid narrative. How can we deny the truth so bad? I try to understand how we can deny the truth so bad.
Listen, the reason why you don't understand is because you didn't grow up in a place where you were literally taught by your parents and shit to hate yourself, right? Black people for a very long time, once they got out of slavery, they aspired, like once we got out of slavery, once segregation and all that stuff, Martin Luther King basically told black people, the number one goal in your life is to be more like white people. Forget about what color you are. Focus on, see those white folks, go up in their companies, go to their schools, get an education, all this stuff. So when someone has been taught that the number one goal in their life is to be something that they can never be, once they realize they can't be that thing, they gain something called resentment, right? They get bitter, they get angry, they get evil, and and if they're not careful, they get on a path of destruction. The reason why black people don't give a shit about their neighborhoods is because their neighborhoods aren't like white neighborhoods. Not realizing that their neighborhoods aren't like white neighborhoods because you are so angry that you can't be like white folks, that you don't give a fuck about yourself. Therefore, you don't give a damn about your neighborhood. See, it's just bitterness. And sometimes that stuff can consume you, right? It can consume you. It's
Exactly.
like a woman. It's like a woman. She say, no guy want to date me. No guy wants to date me, so I got a bad attitude. Well, you're not realizing that bad attitude that you do. It's like, mute up, TSM. Mute up, because I can't mute you. But listen, it's like this. It's like a woman who was in a bad relationship, who carries her bitterness from that relationship into all her future relationships. Now she can't get a good relationship. That makes her more bitter. But she doesn't realize I can't get a good relationship because I'm carrying the baggage of my first relationship with me. That's black people. We had negative interactions with white people. A lot of us
I get what you say.
Then we thought, okay, we can be brotherly with them, right? We got basically tricked, right? They still didn't accept us. So now we're bitter because they didn't accept us when we were ignorant, when we were coming out of slavery, and we thought white people, we knew that when we weren't ignorant, we were just like, whites over there, we're over here. We didn't expect their acceptance. They called us niggas, we called them crackers. But once someone tricked us like, you can be accepted by white people as brothers, we started believing that. But when we went in and tried to be accepted as brothers and we got rejected on any level, that made us bitter. That bitterness consumed us. It didn't just consume us to the point where we projected bitterness onto them. It consumed us to where we started to project that bitterness onto every aspect of our existence. And it destroyed us. It's destroying us.
What you say.
That's why we have to let that shit go. That's why I preach against racism. That's why I sit up and tell black people, when you listen to these idiots talk about, like the stuff with what's that boy named Austin Metcalf with
Carmelo.
the boy with Carmelo. I don't care really about what Carmelo did, but what I'm trying to make black people understand is the bitterness that you guys are displaying, the open hatred you guys are displaying. that's gonna get you nowhere, because all you're gonna do, you depend on these white people big time, jobs, food, water, all that. All you're doing is saying, it's like when you go to work, Jughead, you might not like your boss, but you're not gonna openly tell your boss, I don't fucking like you. You're gonna you're gonna be cordial, you're gonna be politically correct, you're gonna come in that place and be a professional. I might not like you, but I'm gonna work with you because it benefits me. That's the relationship black people need to have in America. Not this like 1 second I hate you. The only reason you hate them is because you want their love so bad. But once you learn that their love doesn't make you, it doesn't make you or break you, you're gonna be able to let that hate go out of your heart, and then you'll start being able to live for yourself and do things that benefit you. Go ahead, Africulture.
Okay. And the truth is, like, even Tariq Nasheed, that's what he does. With all the nation, he just spend all his money in Los Angeles, acting like a rich, like I said
Yeah,
earlier on. Ridiculous.
man.
Go ahead,
I just want to say, man, I wish Ryan Coogler would have spent that money better and made a movie about like pre-colonial West African history, like some shit with some wars or some shit. That shit would have been tight as hell.
I mean, it was a good movie. Whatever's successful is what he should have did. Because let's be real, people these days, they don't even care about history anymore. They would have been talking. See, I like what he did, bro, because he didn't play up the race angle that much. Like, if you would have made that pre-colonial history, it would have just devolved into another, oh, this is about racism. And you know, black folks, they barely even want to watch slave movies anymore. And you would have had to put some of that shit in there.
Nah, I ain't talking about no race. I'm talking about like pre-colonial, like before Europeans got there, when West Africans had their own dominion. That's what I'm talking about. I wish he would have did something like that, like ancient Mandan, aka Mali, some shit like that.
Hey,
I think
Michael.
that he's trying to do step by step.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be like a Mel Gibson type thing. He gonna make videos about all the different time periods.
Yeah. So I think he started with Sinners, but now I think it's like the next 2 or 3 years he's gonna find the money to make Mansa Musa movie, because I already thought about it. But African history never been well financed. There have always some issue about our history to tell our own king, the Mali Empire, the South Africa Empire. It's pretty expensive. It's expensive to shoot a film in Mali, to shoot a film in Morocco. So I think Ryan Coogler is the best well positioned now to find the money for it.
Well,
And
West
he
Africa
starts with
got some
Sinners.
very
That's it.
interesting history that we need. They got some very interesting history and some good ass music that need to be played in the movie, bro. Like for real.
Listen, they budgeted Woman
Yeah.
King. That movie did great. So I think more West African movies are gonna come. But it's like you gotta understand what's going on in the world right now. People politically, people are like charged up. So these days, hey Tim, mute your mic. TSM. Okay. You got to understand, a movie you could have one thing in a movie and get it totally canceled. Look what happened with Snow White, right? So I think you got to be really careful when you're making movies nowadays. So I just think they look at the situation and they might say, maybe it ain't time for that right now. It's not a good time. But I don't know if that's what they're doing. But I think bro is gonna get that Mansa Musa movie produced though. You can use the same sets as you use for Woman King. That took place in West Africa. I mean, you damn near had the beginning of the Mansa Musa movie with Woman King. Like, if you think about it.
I don't think nobody gonna have a problem with a movie about ancient Mandan, because everybody know who the Mandan Kai is. Everybody know who that is.
But do you think that Woman King was like kind of show people that you can make movies about West Africa and give them a big budget and make a lot of money? Because Woman King made a shit ton of money.
Hell yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. They need to
What did
make
you,
more
Jughead?
accurate history movies about West Africa.
What did you think about Woman King, Jughead? You loved
I
it.
didn't see it. I first watched it out of principle because I saw the tone of it. They're very misandrous.
No, it wasn't. Watch it. I watched it. It was great. I saw it 3 times.
Very
It has.
yeah.
Listen, Woman King has no feminism, no misandry, none of those things. If you watch that movie, you're gonna be shocked. Like you're gonna, you know how they say, don't judge a book by its cover. Go watch Woman King. I didn't pick up any feminism, no lesbianism, nothing in that movie.
Brandon, okay, but what? Okay, I must admit, I've not seen it, so maybe I'm ignorant. But obviously, from the clips, I saw women beat up men, men look like pussies. Part of my language.
They were getting that. No. They were getting their asses worked, bro. Pause. Like they wasn't just. It was not like one woman going up beating up 5 dudes like a ninja movie. It wasn't like that. It was like, okay, you fighting in a war, bro. If you fighting, it don't matter if you fighting a woman or a man. If you got a weapon and she got a weapon, and y'all in the heat of battle, anybody could get chipped by anybody because you in the heat of battle. But when they were fighting men one-on-one, they was getting beat up. They were getting slammed, stabbed, like because historically speaking, with the Wagoje or whatever they're called, Agoje, they were fighting battles against men, but they were losing historically. And in the movie, the guy who's the general of the army that they're a part of is a man. And bro even says in the movie, you guys fought, y'all always ready to fight, but y'all just lost a gang of battle with a little lowly tribe. Because he basically alludes to the fact, you guys are tough, but you guys are still women, and y'all fighting with a big ass female army against very small armies of men and taking ridiculous amounts of losses. That's realistic. Like they're not lost on the fact that the Agoje were women, and obviously if you have an army of women fighting against an army of men, they are not. They're fighting in tandem with the male army. They're not just going into battle with all women kicking everyone's ass. In the movie, they fight the Oyo. The men of the Dahomey Empire are fighting the Oyo, and the Agoje are assisting them. It's not like the Agoje just going out there beating up the Oyo. And even in the battles, they getting their ass whooped. Now the general one, she was fighting and she was whooping some ass, but they're using like tactics, right? Like I'm not gonna fight against his strength. I'm gonna fight against his, like, I'm gonna try to use speed, or I'm gonna gouge bro eyes out with my nails. That shit, like, you could catch a man off guard with that type of stuff. So Sticks and Stones is making it clear. He says they use strategic setups. Yeah, and they use trickery and they use technology. So you need to watch that because that movie was misrepresented by Black community. They didn't put none of that. And I saw that movie 3 times because I said, I love the fact that they didn't make this shit political. They didn't make this unrealistic. You're going to enjoy it. Watch it and then hit me up and tell me how you liked it.
Okay, Brad, on your recommendation, I'll watch it. But the Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever, I'm not watching that, man. No way. I want a black male Black Panther. I like woman shit. I'm not.
You didn't watch Black Panther 1?
No, number 2.
That shit was bullshit. Don't watch that trash. It was trash.
No way, man. Yeah. But
no, hey, the female Black Panther was weak as hell, bro. She got her ass whooped. So it wasn't really unrealistic.
Yeah, I mean, look. I mean, regarding the question about West Africa, I mean, Mansa Musa, a lot of kingdoms there. Well, the Songhai Empire, you know about that. There's a whole thing you can do about Timbuktu.
What I do
about West Africa. Tons of material.
It's gonna take a lot of lotion to make a movie about West Africa.
Bro.
Go ahead. You said what you say? Agriculture.
No, I say so much. Like it's so many kingdoms they can make. So many kingdoms and so much warfare they can make history. I mean, I say history, but movies about. You know, he could probably make a whole like series of movies, bro, and make some bread. Like I'm telling you, other people, and I don't really think it's gonna be like it's gonna cause no race wars and nothing like that. Because white people is like other races, other groups, they very interested
They got
in West
sense.
African history.
They
They
got
they they
sense.
gonna make they love it. They would love to see movies like that. They gonna be the main ones buying the tickets, bro. I'm telling you.
Bro, you could make a movie about Mansa Musa's pilgrimage to Mecca and how bro brought 1,000 slaves.
Exactly.
That's crazy. I would love to see that put on the big screen. Like, how do you bring 1,000 slaves, bro, across a desert, my nigga? That's crazy.
Facts. And then didn't he destroy the Egyptian economy?
Yeah. He actually destroyed the Egyptian economy because he introduced so much gold into that region. It made gold lose value.
Exactly, bro. It's so, bro. West Africa was popping, bro. I'm telling you, the
But
movies
look,
will be off the chain, bro.
bro, we want to give away our illustrious history to be connected to a bunch of dudes who are shooting arrows and bows with sticks, rubbing them together, making fire, and washing their hands with dirt. Ain't that about crazy? That to me just boggles the fucking mind, man. Like, our shit is so amazing. Why wouldn't you want to be connected to it? Like, we lost, you win some, you lose some. But when you talk about our history, bro, we was running shit for a very long time. When is the King Mansa Musa?
Yeah, that's done. It's
They
done
got
to
to
give
use
us
my boy.
all that culture.
They got to use my boy who played the king on the Woman King. I like, bro.
John Boyega.
Boyega.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like him.
I think that other dude that played he played the bad guy in Black Panther. I think he'll be a good man for Musa.
You talking about Michael B. Jordan?
Yeah.
Both too young, I think.
But Michael B. Jordan just played in the Sinners movie.
Mansa Musa was young. He started off young.
Yeah, he was young. They say, they say he killed his brother. Eben whatever, that guy who they said went and sailed to America and got lost. They say Mansa Musa killed bro.
Yeah, they say that's the cover up.
Yeah, they say that they got in ships and sailed off and never came back. They said that was a cover up. They say they assassinated bro and used that to explain why they never found his body.
I was surprised. That's Africa for you.
I know. I wouldn't be so. That sound more closer to the truth if you ask me. But guys, we're gonna do our final. Go ahead.
Oh nah, you good.
We're gonna do our final thoughts. Why am I yelling? I just realized I was yelling. I need to go to the doctor. I probably got an inner ear thing going on. But anyway, we're gonna do our final thoughts and get out of here. Shout out to my girl T Lee for joining the membership. It's good to see y'all here. Guys, we gonna be this channel about to be all over the place because I realize now my audience just loves a mixed bag of shit. They don't like one type of content. Y'all like, hey, oh, this happened. Brandon, get on it. they like every
mix it up.
Mix it up, yeah. So I'm gonna start mixing it up. Thank you so much, my girl Taisha. She's always supported us. She always supports me. So now she's a member. It's only right. And I'm about to start producing stuff for my members only. So if you want to be, if you want to have access to it, you better start joining the membership because y'all not going to want to miss that. What's up? Go ahead, Jughead.
I'll be joining. Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, definitely. Brandon, welcome, Afro. Yeah, before I go. To be fair to you, Brandon, while you're a lot of blacks are upset, where's the blame is too? African cultures are blame as well. It's not your fault. We've not done our share, man, because to be fair, since independence, what have we done?
Nothing.
Not enough. So it's not fair. Imagine, Brandon, right? You're a child, okay? Kid up from your homeland. Okay, you go up to adults, and you look like him and say, oh, mum and dad, I'm over here. And they say, oh, okay, we'll stay over there. You can vex out, you can vex out, you can piss out, you can be pissed. Mm-hmm. That's what's up to you. It's not, but that's what's happened to you. We don't done our part as parents. So I apologize for that person myself. But that's going to change. The Three Kings, man, they're coming for you, bro. We're bringing you back. The Three Kings, man. Traore of Burkina Faso. The other guys of Chad, Niger. It's happening, man. And once Nigeria gets on board, Nigeria's a mess. Nigeria's an embarrassment. When Nigeria gets on board, it's over. Nigeria's a giant. If Nigeria gets on board, gets with a bad leadership, gets a Traore, it's all over for white supremacy. I'm telling you. Nigeria gets its act together. we get a Traore, forget it. Forget it, man. It's all over.
Yeah, if they get rid of Traore, it's a lot going on in that region. I tried to get off of the Trump content this week, but next week or maybe tomorrow, I got to talk about the situation going on in Congo with Tshisekedi, basically going to get Trump and sicking Trump on my boy over in Rwanda, Kagame.
Yep.
Hey,
Weak ass
I mean,
move.
but I mean, I'm not gonna say it's a bitch ass move. When you're trying to retain power, you're gonna do whatever you can, right? But
I
that's
guess
like
so.
some colonial. That's like some That's like some
That's the same
colonial
shit that
shit.
happened back in
That's
the
exactly
game.
right.
Yep.
That's exactly what happened back in the day. So it's like, man, history is definitely repeating itself, and that might be the title. Go ahead, Chuck.
Yeah, sorry, but yeah, sorry, I'm interrupting. Yeah, at the start, I mean, I tell you, like, President on this year. Let me see why I hate his guts. Remember when Traore came power in 2022, 3 years ago? He threatened ECOWAS last year to threaten to invade Chad and Traore and Burkina Faso. Hold on a minute. In Libya now, there's slave markets. Some in Algerians. How can I threaten them? You know, that's not for the Arabs. In Mauritania, there's still slavery going on in Mauritania and Sudan. He doesn't threaten them. His black brother threatens his black brother. That cowardice gets him on nerves.
Right.
You know, it's incredible. You know, it's embarrassment. You got that smoke for the Arab, but your black brother, you got smoke for you. It's just this cowardice is incredible, Brad. It's embarrassment. It's pure cowardice. You threaten your black brothers, you threaten the French parasites, which is the correct thing to do. But Arabs who are killing women in Libya, making slaves, skinning them, eating them, making a shish kebab out of them, as a fact. They're eating them, killing them, eating them. You don't threaten them.
Fact.
Brandon, I'm giving myself a stroke.
I mean, I know it's enough to drive you crazy, man. Let me read this. Paul Hardrick says warriors never free from their homelands to leech off the blood and sacrifices of others. I mean, at the end of the day, if African slaves were taken from Africa and forced to work in America and help to build America up to what it is today, in my opinion, every African has a right to come over here and participate, because that there were Africans who weren't participating in the slave trade who lost their family members, lost their sons, lost their brothers, lost their husbands, lost their wives, lost their daughters. So what you would be saying, for what you said to be true, Paul, that would mean every single African participated in the slave trade, and we know that's not true. Even the tribe that I descend from, one of them, the Balanta tribe, the Balantas are very well known for fighting against slavery, fighting against slave traders. That's and they're
those who resist.
That literally means those who resist. So there's entire tribes that fought against slavers. So what you're doing, Paul, is called being ignorant. You're not knowledgeable enough about the situation to come to a conclusion, but you've come to a conclusion because the reality is you just want to hate other black people. So you don't need the facts. You don't need the whole story. You just need enough to fuel your hatred of other black people. Because what do you say about the Balanta? You know, what do you say about those tribes in Guinea-Bissau who fought against slavers, lost their lives trying to keep people off of those slave ships? You don't have anything to say. So you just focus on the one negative aspect. And at the same time, you got black Americans who are complicit in slavery and the abuse of black people. Jughead brought up the movie Django.
Yeah, the Stevens.
Dudes like Steven, right? What about him? Steven hurt more slaves than probably he damn near worse than a slave trader.
Candy.
Dude, you have black slaves. If you ever saw the movie Uncle Tom's Cabin, you had overseers that were black. You had slave catchers who were black. And they are foundational black Americans. So unfortunately for you, the story is never going to be as simple as you would like it to be. And I mean, it is what it is. It shouldn't be. It doesn't have to be. Thank you for your comment, though. And you're welcome to join the membership and stay up here. I'll keep roasting your ass if you want me to. Pam Mulattoism, why you didn't get up here, man? Pan-mulattoism. Paul, he's telling the truth. The truth about what? You can come up here and explain how bro is telling the truth. I'll give you your own 5-minute segment to tell the truth, to tell me how bro is telling the truth. One thing I know about black FBA types, they don't do much reading and they don't do much research. Everything they're saying is a regurgitation of something they've heard from somebody on YouTube. So it's always going to have a lot of gaps, and it's always going to have a lot of, it's most of the times going to be void of context. I'm honest about Africa. I have no problem admitting what African people did, but that doesn't mean I'm not African. I'm African. Like, it's your blood. You know, if your mama smoked crack, it don't matter. She's still your mom. You know what I'm saying? So what you gonna do? Hate her because she did something wrong? You know, it's black people right now who will sell their damn kids for a hit of dope. Does that mean that they're evil, or does that mean they're just doing something stupid that they shouldn't do, and maybe they don't know any better, or maybe they need correction? Black people love a criminal and somebody in jail talking about, oh, they made a mistake, but you don't got the same you don't give the same leeway to your ancestors. You're just a hypocrite at that point. Go ahead, TSM. And guys, we're going to make final thoughts and we're out of here.
Yeah, it's totally, you're totally right. And black people, even all over, like black people from Europe, black people living in America, black people from the diaspora, some are have a Pan-Africanist mindset and some are not, okay? But the most important is not to deny the truth, all right? The truth is the truth. Like, for example, like you was to make a reference, like, a black slave shipment, stuff like that, even like you can tell, like most here in America, black American play football, right? Okay, and you can see, even like if you heard about the Senegalese wrestling, or the body type that they got. All right, they look
Right.
like you, Brandon. Like they're all like they look like you, and actually, man, it's crazy. The Mondico tribe have their own slavery before, like they get the slave trade happen. That is true though. I think like between African, they have their own slavery based on like religious belief, like Islam and stuff like that. Some king used to have their own slave. That's the truth. All right. And the thing is like, the point I try to make is like, we all have some mental issues, like okay, but deny the truth is not acceptable, especially now in 2025. Is unacceptable. Unacceptable.
Hey, you're right. Go
Completely.
ahead. Go ahead, Jughead. You got 1 minute. And then Africulture, you got 1 minute.
Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, TSM. Thank you, Afro. Yeah, but to be fair to Paul, I have to defend them again. Like I'm very understanding. When your parents abandon you, reject you, you're gonna be angry. We've not done our part as African continent, so where's the share part of the blame as well? So you can't just put all blame on FBA, so-called FBA. You're Africans, you're Africans. When Africans, when we build our African lands, be back home, anger will subside. Until then, there's a residual anger. We have to do our part. This to be so-called independence for 7 decades. We've done F all. It's not good enough for my part. So again, we've got to do more, But I'm part of that's that bridge, I'm interested in you, give you time, our money, our love, respect. It's just beginning. Anyway, TSM, Afri, Brandon, respect, guys, and yeah. And I'll see you in your next live chat. Love, respect.
Hey, thank you, my brother. I appreciate it. Hey, shout out to my boy JP from the LB. Thank you so much for the $5 holler in the Cash App. Guys, it's still not too late to drop a super chat. Hit the Cash App, it's pinned to the top of the stream, or join the membership. Thank you in advance. Go ahead, my brother Africulture. You got the floor.
Appreciate it. Yeah, man. Man, Brandon, you had some good points. Look, man, at one point in time in the world, slavery was the way of life. That was an economic part of the world. Not only did West Africans practice slavery, bro, you know, Europeans practice slavery on themselves. But the only difference is they had to expand, so they practiced slavery on other people too. West Asians practiced slavery, Southern Asians practiced slavery. Slavery was just a part of the world. That's a human mistake. You know what I'm saying? It's something that humans did, and it was a mistake, dude. Uh, but anyway, some of y'all that's lost, I would recommend you guys to please read some of these books that's written by quote unquote FBA, like African Dominion, written by Michael Gomez. He's an African American author. You need to read these books and stop making up this bullshit because your black ass came from Africa, bro. And hopefully Ryan Coogler run across this video one day. Hey man, you need to make a video. You need to make a movie about ancient Mali and ancient Wagadu, aka Ghana. Man, you need to make some movies, bro.
Well, Ryan Coogler, you heard that. The bro said make those movies or else. Hey, thank you so much, bro, for coming up here and sharing your
So
infinite wisdom with us and your well of knowledge. I'll see you on the next one.
peace.
Peace. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this. I appreciate every single thing you do for me in this channel. Paul Hydrick, you are a liar. I have legal documents of my lineage here in North America to 1635. None came here on so-called slave ships, bro. None. They have colored on their birth certificate, meaning an American Indian. Bro, why do people lie, bro? Why do people lie? 1635. If he had that shit, he could have a multi-million subscriber YouTube channel showing people how to get it. He's lying. Anyway, what is this? Why do you think people say Long Beach is weird? Jealousy. Thank you. I mean, bro, listen, can I tell y'all something? People say Long Beach is weird, but when we go on these podcasts, every time you get a dude from Long Beach on these shows, we're way smarter, way more good looking, way more well spoken. I mean, just all around, we're better. Like, you got dudes who got to say on the dead homies every other sentence, trying to argue against articulate dudes who do research. Come on, man. That's really what it is. It's not even close. And I don't know why. Maybe it's the drugs. But I'm not saying everybody from Long Beach is smarter than everybody from LA. But what I'm saying is what LA is choosing to put out on their in podcasts and stuff to represent them, it's not the best they got. Probably because the smart people in LA got better shit to do. But it is bad, bro. I mean, that's their problem. But yeah, too busy playing with their nose, fucking with that dope, being in debt to white niggas. And I'm going to leave it there. Hey, thank y'all so much for watching this. I appreciate every single thing you all do for this channel. Until the next time, please take care of yourselves. But most importantly, take care of each other. Peace.